Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Quilters Apothecary. I am extremely excited today to let you know that our Patreon channel is live. Now, before we go into what's going to be offered on the Patreon channel, let me explain a little bit about what Patreon is. So, Patreon is a site that you go to, and there will be a link where we post this video, and you can go check it out. And what you do is you actually pay a fee a month. I happen to do it with a lot of my artists that I really like my coloring and my pyrography and different things like that. And I can go and have education throughout the whole month and pay a very small and nominal fee. But the one thing is, it actually supports the artists. So they're actually getting paid for their time, which means that you actually get more content. And that's what I love. You know, my whole, I would say, decade and a half, I have been posting videos on YouTube, and that's become very popular, and I will continue to be posting. I've always posted about 10% of my stuff as a tithe kind of to my community of my content on YouTube, and I will continue to do that. But with this, especially with not being able to travel to shows, and also the fact that people like to be home, Patreon is an amazing place to go. Now, I'm going to have two tiers with our Patreon. And that's what a lot of people will do. They'll have tiers. And a lot of people suggested, people that were helping me organize this said, what about 3 or 4 tiers? And it was getting a little pricey, and I didn't like that. So I decided I only want 2 tiers, and both are extremely affordable. It's like having hundreds of dollars worth of content for $10 or $15, depending upon whichever tier you choose to go with. So let me talk about the tiers. The first tier is our basic tier, and that's going to include all of our DVDs that we have done ever. And also what's going to be on there is all of our YouTubes, but longer cuts of the YouTubes, re-edited and remastered so they can actually be clearer and they look better. So that's going to be out there. Also, on that basic tier, what I'm going to do is, let me fix my mic a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have quilt-alongs with every custom quilt that I do in my studio. And so what I typically do is I hang the quilt up. We go through what I'm going to do to that. I'm going to give a couple different options, and then I'm going to load it on the machine. And then you're going to be there while I quilt through it. And I'm going to give instruction about what I'm doing in each different section of the quilt. And I think sometimes for a lot of long armors, that's important, because then that way you can actually see how to deal with your own quilts. And you get to see things and get different ideas that you wouldn't normally do it. So that's going to be on the basic and the higher tier, which I believe is going to be right about $15 for the higher tier. Now for the $15 per month, what we're going to do is all of that content is going to be on there. Plus, I have hundreds of new designs that I have never shown in classes that I'm going to start doing one at a time and posting wonderful drawn out versions we're going to do together, as well as the quilted out versions that we're doing. And then also in that higher tier, what we're going to be doing is it's pretty much you're going to be in my studio with me all the time, pretty much. So we're also going to be doing live events, and I know that I'm going to be aiming for about 2 live events a month. There's going to be a chat event that I want to do a month where people can ask questions, and hopefully I can walk you through or point you towards where to get the answers for stuff. But also, you're going to also get a how would I quilt this live event, and that one I'm going to hope to do at least once a month. And that's going to be people are going to send in pictures of quilts that are coming up and they don't quite know what to do, and then I'm going to download it onto my pad, and then Digitally with the pad, I'm going to show you how I would quilt it, give you a couple different options to kind of help you through that process, as well as showing you all the designs that I have not shown people in classes. So that's going to be in that tier. What's also going to be in both tiers is it's time for us as surface quilters to do some piecing. So I'm going to be doing some piece-alongs, right, where we're going to be piecing things together, and then we're going to take those to the machine and I'm going to be quilting them. And then of course I'm going to throw out a bunch of different options. Of course I know you have options that you may choose to share with the group that's doing those live events. And so we have a lot of things in store. Now let me say this, that's just the tip of the iceberg. We have a lot more things that are coming to the Patreon channel this summer, fall, and winter. And we're going to keep adding things as we go. So that's the exciting thing. And this is something we're really completely 100% committed to. I have to be honest, I'm only going to be traveling to 1 to 2 shows a year just because I don't want to travel that much anymore. I don't think anybody wants to travel that much anymore. And we know that the quilting community is changing as a whole. You know, people like to be at home. People like to be in their pajamas, and they like to be either in front of their computer, in front of their smart TVs, or in front of their tablets, getting education at home. Because frankly, for a lot of people, there's just not money in the coffers to pay for hotel, to pay for travel, and also take the risks that we now take to do all of the traveling. So I am looking forward to seeing you at the Patreon channel, no matter which tier you choose. And also, if you are not going to be doing Patreon, I'm still going to be seeing you on YouTube. So either way, take care of each other, and I will see you down the road. And no matter what, I look forward to a wonderful quilting adventure with you.